Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily and I am so ready for fall. In fact, today I have some very simple, no skill required DIYs that will bring that touch of fall into your home. I am also doing a collaboration with another YouTuber. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. If you have a chance to subscribe, I would love if you would consider doing so and give this video a thumbs up if you like what you see. But let's get started. This project is so easy. It does just require a few items from Dollar Tree. So I am taking a little bit of foam core, and then this is a frame from a shadow box from Dollar Tree that I had used the background on another DIY. So I just matched the frame up to the corner of that foam core board. That will give me as straight of line as I need. So I am just going to cut that out with an X-Acto knife. You may need to trim this down just a little bit so it will slide right into your frame, but I will just clean out the little edges of the frame there. And then I have this handy little vacuum I recently got that I love. I'll leave a link to that down in my description box. But what we're going to do with this piece of foam core board that I've cut out is I have some removable wallpaper that I bought on Amazon. It looks like some faux barnwood or shiplap or something like that. So I am just going to cut it to size so it can fold over the edges. And then it's just a matter of peeling off the back and then slipping this, just sticking it down. You're not slipping anything. You're going to stick this down onto it, and then you're going to fold over the edges. I do use my Mod Podge roller, let's say that right. But that's not necessary. I think you could easily just smooth that out with your fingers, would be just fine. I do just cut the corners here to make sure that it's kind of like wrapping a present, getting those edges nice and secure. It will be covered a little bit by the frame when you slip it into that, so you don't have to be super exact. So I just put a little bit of hot glue right around all of the edges on the back of that frame, and then just stick it on top of the foam core board that I have there, and then just push that down. And then for an added little bit of security there, I do just go around the edges and put another little layer of hot glue on there, just to make sure that the edges and the hot glue are all connecting and it is going to stay in place. Dollar Tree had these really cute little maple leaves in their fall selection this year, so I did just grab a package of those. I didn't show, but I do use a little bit of spackle to cover in the hole there. They're meant more like for like a garland or an ornament or tag or something. So I did cover that in so I would have a solid leaf without the little hole in the top. And I'm just using some antiquing wax to kind of, with a baby wipe, to just kind of go over this to give it a little light stain. I cut just a little couple pieces of foam core board to give this a little bit of a three-dimensional look so it pops out. I just cut those to size, and then I glue those onto the back of my leaf, and then I just put the glue on the back of those little pieces of foam core board to glue them to the background. The frame to this was pretty beat up, so instead of painting it, I did decide just to embrace the distressed look. I do go with my emery board. You could use some sandpaper easily to do this, just to kind of give it a little bit more even of a distressed look. I think this is the perfect touch of neutral fall to add to your home. It would be so simple and easy for you to recreate and get such a darling look. At Hobby Lobby, they have these really cute wooden chargers. They're $12.99 a piece, and they do have 40% off of them for fall, but I thought I could recreate them for much less and very simple. And of course, these are not going to be food safe, just like the wooden ones they had are not food safe, but I'm going to show you a really easy way to recreate these. So I have these little chargers, or got these chargers from Hobby Lobby, and they usually have some type of white charger that are around the $2 range. I also got these wooden letters in their fall section that say blessed, grateful, and thankful. And then they also had this package of words that said blessed and thankful that are with more of their Thanksgiving stuff for your Thanksgiving table. So I like both of these different words. And so I'm going to kind of see which one I like the best. So I'm going to stain this one that says Blessed in the neutral wood, and you could easily leave it neutral if you wanted to. You can make this as simple as you want or as customized as you want. Here is what this Blessed looks like on there. I really do like the color of that Blessed probably the best, but I like the size of these words on here. So I decide to go with these, and they do kind of have a coppery tone to them, which would be perfect for fall and perfect, you know, to kind of bring that fall color in. Now I'm just showing you there, you could use Gorilla Glue to give these a permanent hold. You can also use hot glue, which is what I did. That way you could maybe change them up for different seasons if you wanted to. And so I do just run the hot glue on there and push that down really well to make sure that it gets a good grip. And then I do the same thing with this Thankful. You can see I just kind of quickly go along all of the words there and then just hurry and place it down before the glue dries. That way you can kind of make sure that it sticks really well. And I do take my little weeding tool from my Cricut stuff, and I just kind of use that to kind of get the hot glue that might have seeped out to kind of give it a really crisp look. So for not that much time and just a little bit of hot glue, I think these turned out so cute, so fun for a china hutch or to put on a plate rack. I love how these turned out. Today's video is in collaboration with Missy from the Crafty Cove. She is also another farmhouse DIYer, so I will leave a link to her channel down in my description box. You guys are going to love her. So definitely click on that link and go to her channel. Look at some of her creations that she has made. She is so talented. And you guys, she crafts from a hotel room. She travels with her husband for his work, and to be able to craft in that small of an area in and of itself, it takes a lot of talent. But look at how beautiful her creations are. I just love her. She has been on this journey about the same amount of time that I have, and we have become fast friends, and she means the world to me. So definitely, if you love Farmhouse, which I know you do because you're here watching this, click on the link to her channel and you are going to get tons more farmhouse inspiration. So thank you again, Missy, for collaborating with me today, and you guys are going to love her. For this DIY, we're going to dress up a wooden garland. Now you can buy wooden garlands at Hobby Lobby. They have them in their fall section. They also have them in their Christmas section where their Christmas tree garland is. You can, I've seen that Dollar Tree has started carrying wooden beads now too. I have not seen them in mine. You may have to buy several strands though to be able to make a garland. So I'm just showing you how to make your own here. You just take some jute twine and a little bit of tape on the end of it, and that way it will stop the jute from fraying when you put it in. So this is the pattern that I decided to do. I did the big one in the middle, and then on either side of that I did the next size down, and then I did 10 of the smallest beads in between. And I'll put the measurements of the beads and a link to the beads that I used down in my description box. But I did buy these little burlap leaves at Hobby Lobby. They were $5.99 for a package and then 40% off. And you would really only need to use one package. You wouldn't need to do the plain burlap ones. I just had those as well, and so I thought I would add those in. And this is so simple, guys. So if you don't make your garland and you just buy one or have one, this will take you just a matter of like a couple of minutes, and it is so easy. So these leaves have a little bit of wire on the top of them. And so I just find not a neutral, but a space that I'm going to wrap the wire around just in between the bead so it kind of hooks onto the jute twine, and I do it on the same place of my pattern. So if you don't have a pattern of like larger and smaller beads to follow, you're just going to count in between, and like every 10th bead or every 5th bead, whatever your desired length is, you'll count that many beads and then place a leaf. So it is so simple, but honestly, this makes such an impact. So if you have like a mantle, I happen to have my beaded garland hanging over a big mirror in my family room. So when I put these leaves on there, it really does just add a really big pop of fall. But this is so simple and so easy that anybody can do this. And I just think that it's so cute, and it's something that you can switch up for different holidays. They're easily removed, and so you don't have to do a lot of change with your decoration to just add that little touch of fall. But look at how cute this looks all together. I think this is so darling. I love it. I'm going to take this pizza pan from Dollar Tree and we're going to make a sign out of it. On the bottom layer, I put a layer of Mod Podge. My thinking with this is since I am putting a decal on it, I did not want my paint to come up when I lifted that transfer paper off. So I thought that maybe the Mod Podge on the bottom would help it to adhere better, the paint. So I'm not sure whether my paint didn't have that problem when I did pull my transfer tape up. So I'm not sure if that was the reason or what, but that's what I did. So I'm just letting you know. I do put 3 coats of paint on this and I do let it dry thoroughly in between each coat of paint. And then as my last top coat, I use this satin Mod Podge here and I just put this all over the top of it to seal in the paint. And then I actually did let this dry overnight because I really did not want any of the paint to come up. All right, so what I do is a trick that if your mat for your cutting machine ever loses its stick, I just put a little bit of painter's tape on the corners of my paper and I have not had any problem with them slipping since I started doing this. So that's just a little tip for you there if you have a cutting machine and use it. If you don't have a cutting machine, what you'll want to do is just find an image online that you can print out and you'll just use a decoupage method to decoupage your design into the middle of the pizza pan that I'm using. So I'm just going to weed my design out. I'll put a link to this design. I got it off Etsy and I absolutely loved the simplicity of it. I love to add a little bit of pop of orange into my fall decor because I really just love how the orange color pops. But I'm kind of loving having just a few pops of orange and then some neutrals with it. And I think this sign does a perfect job with that. So I'm just going to show you here that as I weed this, that sometimes the image is too big to weed, that I just cut it off in sections as I pull it up. And that's something that's totally fine to do. It makes it a little bit easier to work with because the worst thing is when your little portion that you're working with sticks back down and then starts to pull up the letters or something. So just know that that's, if you already know that hack and you do that, that's great. If you don't, then that is something that is so much easier to cut it off in little sections like that. After you get the main portion of your decal off of there, you have to go back in and weed out all of the letters. So that's what I'm doing here. And then I will get some transfer tape and I will take it to put onto my pizza pan. So I do my best to center this. Transfer tape and me sometimes have a love-hate relationship. Sometimes I absolutely love it. And then the next time I go to use it, like it sticks and it's not the best. It actually worked out very well for me today. So I just place this down and then I do measure it with my ruler to make sure that I'm getting it as centers as possible. If you know me at all or you've watched me, you know that I am not a measurer. So this is very rare that I pull my ruler out and do check, but I did want to get this as centered as possible. Once I am certain with where I want it, I do just use my little hotel key to scrape because I can't find my Cricut scraper anywhere. And then I just peel back the transfer tape, leaving the design on there. And if you have a little spot or something that wants to come up with you, you just kind of go hold it down and peel it back and it works just fine. But I love this design. I think this is going to be so cute. And I don't know whether I'm going to put this in my China hutch or put it in my living room or somewhere. I just think this turned out so cute and it was so easy. Don't forget that I'm on Instagram also. I love to meet new Insta friends, so I would love for you to come over and say hi, check out my page, and see all the latest projects that I'm working on. I'll be sure and leave a link down in my description box so you can easily find me. So this is kind of a decorating hack as well as a DIY, and by DIY I mean that in the simplest of forms. Hobby Lobby has these darling little wreaths. They have them for all different seasons. I've seen them also like at Walmart, Michael's, Joann's, Dollar Tree once upon a time, but I haven't seen them there for years. I also found these cute little cutting or charcuterie boards at Hobby Lobby. I found this little sign blank there as well, so I picked that up and I loved the buffalo check design on this. If you don't have a cutting board or you want to have a patterned one like that buffalo checked one, I will leave a link to a video down in my description box where I did decoupage some craft paper onto a cutting board from IKEA that turned out super cute. But all you're going to do is just take one of these wreaths and you're going to wrap the jute twine, kind of bend the jute twine in half, and then wrap the little loop around and pull the tails through. So you can kind of watch what I do here. And then you're going to just use this as a decoration on the cutting board. So at first on this circular one, I was going to tie it around the neck, and then realized with that fun little handle on there that I would wrap it through, and I love how this looks. So it's just me wrapping this around the top, and then I do tie it off, and I use a little dot of hot glue to hold this on, because I want to be able to change the wreath out as the seasons go, or maybe not even have a wreath if I decide at some point that it's too much or I want a more simplistic look. On this cute little charcuterie board that has the buffalo check, I love the orange with this black and white here. I just think that totally screams fall, and even a little bit of Halloween if you're not one to decorate with necessarily Halloween decorations, but like to have the color scheme. It's perfect. So this just shows you up close how I get this on here. It's so easy. You just loop that through and you pull the tails through. And that just makes it so you don't have to really untie anything. You can just kind of pull that loose when you're ready to change this out. And this will be so fun. I will definitely change this one out because I have buffalo check for my winter decoration. So I will be able to put a Christmas wreath or tag or something on here. And then of course you just take it around the neck and you just tie it in just a knot. And I mean, how much simpler can you get than that? But I love the way it looks, and it is so stylish right now with the different cutting boards and charcuterie boards to have them layered and stacked like in your hutch or on your against your backsplash in your kitchen. And how fun would that be on one of them to have a darling wreath? Now, I don't expect you to be tying a wreath to like all of your cutting boards, you know, just kind of do it a little bit sparingly, but this just shows you the different looks and the different ideas to hopefully inspire you. Now, if you don't have a cutting board and you don't have a way to get one, or you happen to have a sign blank at home, this is another way to get it on. You're going to use one of these little command hooks. I didn't even have any more of the backings that go on them, so I just use a little bit of hot glue to hot glue it onto the sign. So I kind of place my wreath and get an idea of where, how low I want the little hook to go. And then I just add a little bit of hot glue to get that to adhere. So simple, so easy. Now the main part of the wreath is a little too thick to fit in the command hook, so you're just going to find one of the little vines that's there and kind of pull it up to be able to hook over that. And then these are all have wire in them, the branches, so you're easily able to kind of mold them and cover that up so you can't see that. You can kind of strategically place a leaf if you need to or something. But this, I mean, you could take the ties off of this and use this anywhere. You could hang it. But just to add a little bit of fall that is so easy and something that looks a little bit custom, not just a plain wreath, but dress it up a little bit with something, if that makes sense. I just think this looks so fun, and not only so fun, but I just think it's darling. Here's all three looks together. Which one of these would you like in your home? I think these are so cute and so simple and literally no skill, guys. Anybody can do this. So I'm curious to know which one of these you would consider recreating. Let me know down in the comments. I think they all turned out beautifully. I think that individually or together, they would add the perfect touch of fall to anyone's home. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have a chance to like this video, hit that thumbs up button. And if you also have a chance to consider subscribing, I would really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember to check out Missy's channel. Her link will be down in my description box below. And remember to always be safe, be smart, be nice, be happy. Choose to have a good day because you are amazing. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, here's another one that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and have an amazing day.